One day you hear that fish is the best food for your brain and heart. The next, you hear it's filled with dangerous heavy metals. So what's the truth? The answer is, they're both right. And knowing the difference is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health after 60. Today we are cutting through all the confusion. We're going to give you a straightforward list of 4 common seafoods you should avoid or limit. And more importantly, 4 powerhouse seafoods you should be eating every week. This is your new cheat sheet for the grocery store and your favorite restaurant. By the end of this video, you will be able to choose your seafood with total confidence, knowing you're getting all of the amazing benefits without the risks. Before we dive in, a very important reminder. This video is for educational purposes. Always consult with your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian to get advice that is tailored to your specific health needs and conditions. Let's start with the seafoods you should either limit or avoid altogether, especially if you're over 60 and prioritizing your brain, your heart, and your long-term vitality. First on our list to avoid is swordfish. Swordfish might look impressive on a dinner plate, but it's one of the worst offenders when it comes to mercury. Why? It's a large, long-lived predatory fish, and that matters more than you might think. Mercury doesn't just float around in the ocean in harmless amounts. It accumulates in small fish, and when those small fish get eaten by bigger fish, the mercury gets passed up the food chain. This process is called bioaccumulation. The longer a fish lives and the higher it sits on the food chain, the more mercury it can accumulate in its tissues. For seniors, this is a big concern. Mercury is a neurotoxin, meaning it can damage nerve cells. And our brains become more sensitive to these toxins as we age. Even moderate exposure can impair memory, coordination, and concentration over time. If you're already managing cognitive health, this kind of exposure is the last thing you want. Instead of swordfish, consider salmon, especially wild-caught. It gives you that same meaty texture but without the high mercury risk. And it's loaded with beneficial omega-3s. Next up on the list is shark. Yes, it's sometimes served as steak at high-end restaurants or featured in exotic dishes. But when it comes to your health, shark is a nutritional minefield. Like swordfish, sharks are apex predators. They can live up to 30 years, during which time they accumulate massive amounts of mercury, even more than swordfish. Consuming shark meat regularly can increase your mercury load significantly, and the damage isn't always reversible. The brain, kidneys, and nervous system are especially vulnerable, and that's especially concerning in older adults who may already be managing blood pressure, memory loss, or balance issues. A much safer option? Try Rainbow Trout. It's mild, easy to prepare, and full of heart-healthy fats, without the contamination risks of shark meat. Number 3. King mackerel. Not all mackerel is bad, but king mackerel is a specific variety that poses serious risks. Caught mostly in the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean, this species is again high on the food chain and tends to carry high mercury concentrations. If you have a compromised immune system, cardiovascular disease, or any neurodegenerative condition, which becomes more common over 60, this type of fish is not worth the risk. Even the FDA recommends that older adults, pregnant women, and children avoid it completely. Want a better alternative? Try Atlantic mackerel or Boston mackerel. It's a smaller cousin with similar taste but far lower mercury levels, and a great source of clean omega-3s. And finally, number 4. Tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico. This one often flies under the radar. It's not as commonly served in restaurants, but it might sneak into mixed seafood dishes or show up at markets as a white-fleshed option. The problem? Tilefish from the Gulf is one of the highest mercury-containing fish ever tested by the FDA. Just one serving of Gulf tilefish can exceed the weekly mercury exposure limit recommended for adults. And that's for a young, healthy person. For seniors, the risk-to-benefit ratio is even more skewed. If you enjoy mild white fish, switch to cod or haddock. They're gentle on your system, widely available, and much lower in mercury, especially if sourced from the North Atlantic. Now for the good stuff. The number 1 fish on our must-eat list is wild-caught salmon. This is the gold standard, especially for people over 60. Wild-caught salmon is packed with 2 powerful types of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. EPA has been shown to reduce inflammation throughout the body, which helps with everything from joint stiffness to artery health. DHA is crucial for the structure of brain cells and supports memory, mood, and cognitive sharpness, things that often start to decline with age. Salmon is also one of the few seafoods that consistently tests low in mercury. That's because it's relatively low on the food chain and doesn't live long enough to build up dangerous toxins. Aim for 2 servings per week. A 4-ounce portion is perfect. It's incredibly versatile. You can bake it with lemon and dill, pan-sear it with a light olive oil glaze, or grill it with a hint of garlic. Next up, sardines. Tiny, oily, and totally underrated. Sardines are a nutritional jackpot. They're rich in omega-3s, calcium, vitamin D, and even B12. And because they're small and short-lived, they carry almost no mercury. For older adults, sardines offer an incredible combination. They support heart function, cognitive clarity, and even bone density, which becomes increasingly important to protect against osteoporosis and fractures. Don't worry if you're not a fan of canned fish. Sardines can be delicious when served grilled, roasted with tomatoes and capers, or even tossed into a salad with lemon and arugula. Try buying them fresh or high-quality canned in olive oil. Skip the versions packed in soy or unnecessary additives. The third superstar on our must-eat list is Atlantic mackerel. Earlier, we talked about avoiding king mackerel, but its cousin, Atlantic mackerel, is a completely different story. This variety is smaller, grows faster, and contains dramatically less mercury. In fact, it's considered one of the cleanest and most nutritious fish you can eat. Like salmon and sardines, it's loaded with omega-3s, but Atlantic mackerel is also high in selenium, a mineral that supports immune function and may help regulate thyroid health, both of which can decline with age. It's affordable, widely available, and incredibly flavorful. You can roast it with mustard and thyme, grill it whole with lemon, or flake it over a bowl of brown rice and vegetables. And finally, the fourth seafood you absolutely should be eating regularly is rainbow trout. Mild, buttery, and perfect for seniors who prefer less fishy flavors, rainbow trout is a gem in the seafood world. It's low in mercury, farmed responsibly in the US, and bursting with heart-protective fats and quality protein. It's also rich in potassium, which helps manage blood pressure, a common concern after 60, and niacin, which aids in energy metabolism and keeps skin and nerves healthy. This is a gentle but powerful addition to your plate. Try it pan-seared with just a touch of olive oil, or bake it with lemon, rosemary, and a handful of cherry tomatoes. You'll get a gourmet-level meal that protects your heart and supports your active life. So the rule is simple. Avoid the large predatory fish and embrace the smaller, oily fish. By swapping out the swordfish and shark for salmon and sardines, you tip the scales dramatically in your health's favor. Remember, knowledge is power. You are now in control. You have the information to walk past the confusion and confidently choose foods that will nourish your brain, protect your heart, and help you feel your best. If this video cleared things up for you, please help us spread the word by giving it a like and subscribing to our Stronger After 60 channel. What is your favorite healthy seafood recipe? Share it in the comments below. And as always, check the description box for our sources and more information. Stay strong, choose wisely, and we'll see you in the next video.